Hi everyone, I'm going to show you a little bit about what I do regarding discussions in my math classes. What I'm going to show you right now is a new class that I'm teaching, so hopefully I won't come across something that's not complete yet, but it's always possible. I'm using the instructor's view rather than the student's view this time, just to make sure that I can show you everything. Starting off with my syllabus, and just to show you that my discussions are only worth 10% of the overall grade, but they are very important, and I try to emphasize the importance because they are formative assessments. I read every single discussion post and try not to respond to everyone. So let me get rid of the syllabus so we can go into the content area, or the discussion area actually. And I'm going to show you what I start with. I start with a general discussion. This is not graded, but this is where any student can ask questions, can make comments, can tell me that they found an error in the class, which has happened, and that gets used. Then I have these three areas for study groups. I'm hoping that students will get together and meet together. As you can see, I only have the Boulder County campus forming a study group, and hopefully that it did work. And then I have this additional one, and no one is posted here for study tips, do's and don'ts. Sometimes I get a lot of recommendations, sometimes I don't. Then the rest of my discussions are based on the 4 tests and the final exam. So currently we just had our second exam, so I'm going to move down to discussion for exam 3. What I have in here, and as you can see it's not ready for next week yet, I have a list of problems, and the purpose is for each student to go through and solve one of these problems in order. So I ask them to solve problem 18 first, followed by 30, keep on going, not skipping any. In earlier discussions, I think I had too many problems listed and we didn't get through all of them. I'm hoping that by the end of this week we will have covered all of these problems. There aren't that many, and they should be able to be covered if everyone's participating. What I do, and I guess I'll show you exactly what it looks like, is starting at the bottom. Here's an example of a problem that was posted, the very first one, and it looks like I did respond to all of them. Here's an example. Here is this student's solution, and this particular one didn't require any feedback other than my saying that it was done correctly. Let's look at the next one, because I think the next one did require some feedback. Actually, this one did. So what I have, he posted something. He actually posted the first part correctly, and the second part there were errors. So my post here is that I'm looking for another student to come back and check the answers. So the purpose of this is for someone to post a problem, and then for each student to go in and respond to a classmate's problem. I don't want them to repeat it. I want them to verify the answers. The previous one really didn't require any verification. This one does. This one has a solution, and we can plug in answers from the solution into the original inequality in this case and check whether the answer is correct. So what I've posted is asking for someone to come in and respond. And then I'm talking to Josh, who has posted the problem, and mention an error that I found. So I don't expect a student to find every error, but this is something that I want him to notice, that this particular interval notation was not correct. So I told him what to look at and asking him to look at it again. I'm not telling him what it should be. I'm telling him to consider what he wrote means and to think about how he should post it correctly. So I've actually responded to the poster and mentioned something that he can correct. I've also responded asking for someone to verify the information. I have one of these discussions for each week, and this particular discussion, week 8, is just the first of the test number 3 discussions. So we will have 3 weeks worth of discussions. What I do is they're all due under the whole topic by April 5th, which is the last day to complete the exam for that section of material. Um, but each weekly discussion has a due date, but it doesn't have an end date. So I leave these open for the duration of the entire exam 3 materials, and this allows students to go in and respond and make corrections and to finish all the problems if they didn't get done during that week. Next week I'll have another list of problems, and they should be posting there as well as going back and finishing up here. What I grade is at the end of each week, I grade for participation and basically following my rubric, which I do have under my content area. If I can find it real quickly to show you, I'm already over 5 minutes. And gosh, I'm not even sure where it is. Discussion board rubric, there it is. So what I'm looking for is someone to post at least twice a week, one original post and one response, and I would like the response to get discussed so they can agree on how the result is correct or incorrect, and I will come back, and if there's any error that I see, I will bring that up. So I do include a rubric for original posts and responding posts, and normally I'm looking for solving a problem a different way or verifying the result, coming to an agreement, and I need to have a response by Wednesday or an original post by Wednesday of each week, and then at least one other post. So without posting at least on 2 different days, there's no way that the poster is going to get full credit. But credit is not the purpose of this. It's not for almost earning points. It's for actually learning how to work in these particular problems and to prepare for the upcoming test. As I said, I read every single post, but I don't necessarily respond to any unless I actually see a problem that another student has not caught. Well, thank you, and if you have any recommendations for what I'm doing, one more thing I guess I wanted to mention is that under the content area, under my materials for the class, course materials, each week, let's go to week 7, which was right before the test. I will have posted the assignments due, and then I have a link directly to the discussion. So the student can go into that week under course materials or can click on the discussions tab to get to the discussion for that week.